Troubleshooting Microflex wireless requires a different approach from most professional wireless microphone systems. Frequency management is handled automatically, and antenna placement is fixed with regards to the access point. Therefore, the majority of troubleshooting is confined to networking issues. Fortunately, no matter what the symptoms may be, there are a few standard items to check that can help resolve most problems. Let's begin with a few things to consider before heading to the job site. Before attempting to troubleshoot MXW, it's important to have a basic understanding of how the system works. Therefore, please consult the user guide first. As mentioned, MXW can't be approached as you would a more conventional wireless microphone system. Some familiarity with the components and operation of the system is necessary. The other videos in this series are also a useful resource. Bring a computer. The amount of troubleshooting that can be performed on MXW without a computer is fairly limited. Since configuration is accomplished via a browser-based user interface, either a PC or Mac will suffice. In either case, there are several software applications that prove useful. Please install these free applications before going to the job site. Most importantly, you'll need the Shure Web Discovery application. To connect to an MXW device, you must know its IP address. Since the devices themselves do not have displays, this application automatically discovers any Shure device with an embedded user interface and displays its IP address. Double-click on the device to open it in your browser. If no devices are displayed, check your firewall settings to make sure Bonjour is an allowed application. If you can see devices but are not able to connect, check your computer's IP address setting to make sure you are in the same address range and subnet as the devices. Issues can sometimes be resolved by updating firmware, or in cases where devices are on different firmware versions, making sure all components are matched. The Shure Update utility allows you to update firmware for all networkable Shure devices. Audio is routed from the access point to the audio network interface or a Dante-enabled Shure SCM820 auto mixer via the Dante Digital Audio Network protocol. These audio routes are handled under the hood by the MXW system when configured using the access point's user interface. But Dante Controller can be useful to double-check that all audio routes are configured as they should be and for investigation of other possible Dante issues, such as master clock and IP settings. Dante Controller is available from the Audinate website. Obtain a drawing of the network cable topology. It is often useful in troubleshooting to swap network cables or components. It is essential to have a complete picture of the physical connections for every device in the system. Bring a few spare Ethernet cables, preferably shielded Cat5e or Cat6. In some cases, even though network LEDs may indicate connectivity, a bad cable could still be the culprit. Bring a set of headphones. The audio network interface has a headphone jack. When trying to track down an audio problem, this is a convenient place to monitor the audio to determine if the issue is present in the MXW system or further downstream. If everything sounds fine here, then the problem isn't with Microflex Wireless. Once on site, a good place to start is by observing LED behavior on both microphones and the access point. When microphones are removed from the charger, the LED rings should briefly flash until settling down to solid green or solid red, depending on whether the mic is configured to join the system active green or muted red. If the LEDs continue to flash, it means the mics aren't able to establish a connection to the access point. Look at the access point. In a correctly configured system, From left to right, the first LED should be green, indicating that the access point has power. If this LED is not lit, check that the access point is connected to a network jack that is providing power over Ethernet. The second, middle LED should also be solid green. If it is off, no output device has been selected for the access point. If it is flashing, it means there is an issue with the Dante network configuration. This is usually accompanied by a flashing network audio LED on the audio network interface front panel. The third LED should be off when all the mics are on the charger and green when mics are in use. If it is red, that means that no microphones are linked to the access point. Place all microphones in the charger, ensure that the charger is connected to the network, and push and hold the link button on the charger until all 5 charging LEDs flash. Remove the mics from the charger to ensure successful linking. If the link LED turns red, that could indicate the charger's link button has been locked out in software. In this case, you can use the access point user interface to relink the microphones. See the next section for further instructions on connecting to the access point. If the access point LEDs indicate a network audio problem or relinking the mics doesn't fix the issue, connect your computer to the MXW network, open the Web Discovery application, and launch the access point user interface. Here are some things to look for. First, visit the utility page. Make sure that all system components appear in this list. If any components do not show up, verify network connectivity for the components in question. Swap cables or network switches if required. Then, make sure all components have a valid IP address and are in the same subnet. Pay close attention to the access point, which requires 2 unique IP addresses, one for control and one for network audio. Also, make sure all devices are on the same firmware version. If not, use the Shure Update utility to bring them up to the most recent firmware release. Next, go to the configuration page. Verify that for each group in the configuration that has an access point in the first column, there is a corresponding network charger and output device selected in the appropriate columns. If no device is selected, click on the drop-down menu and make the appropriate selection. If the desired charger or audio network interface is not available, go back to the utility page and check the group column. If the word Other is displayed, that means the device is associated with another access point. The easiest way to free up that device so that it will become available is to perform a factory reset on that device. We'll cover factory reset in the next section. For larger systems with more than one access point, ensure that all components are networked together. In some cases, this may require the use of an external network switch. We recommend a managed gigabit switch. Keeping a spare network switch in your toolkit can be useful. If all else fails, returning all MXW devices to factory default will allow you to rebuild the configuration from scratch. Note that a factory reset will set all devices back to DHCP mode. If you need to reset static IP addresses, please consult the video Setting Static IP Addresses. To factory reset the access point, Locate the recessed button on the bottom of the device. Using a paperclip or other small pointed object, push and hold the button for 10 seconds. The network audio status LED will briefly turn off to indicate the unit is rebooting. For the audio network interface, locate the recessed button on the back panel. Also push and hold for 10 seconds, and the front panel LEDs will flash to indicate the unit is rebooting. To reset the charging station, turn the unit off, then press and hold the link button while turning it back on. Continue to hold the link button for 12 seconds until the link LED illuminates amber. Rebuild your configuration, following the instructions in the video, Creating a Configuration.